Hey guys, Tara here. Welcome to Formula 2 for the start of the F2 UniONE career. It's going to be a 10-round championship and it will be on the races the week before the main F1 races. So the Russian Grand Prix will be next week on next Friday, as you'll see. But Nick de Vries takes the first pole position of the season and the massive 4 points that go with it. So he already leads the championship and he hasn't even done a race yet. But since he finished 4th in the standings last year as well, this is his time now to shine really. Also his teammate Nikita Mazepin, his new teammate, he came 2nd in what was still GP3 last season. So he's got a point to prove now with one of the best teams here in Formula 2. Also at his home Grand Prix as well, starting from P3. Also Robert Schwartzman, who's the now new F3 champion because the entire F3 season has already happened. Now the F team moves straight up now into the next category, so he'll be looking to make an impact as well, especially also at his home race as well. Also here we have one of the Ardens, which I think this one's Tatiana Caldron, the only female driver on the grid. We'll have to see how she does compared to the other driver, of course her teammate as well, Arsene Markelov, so she hasn't got the easiest teammate in the world to go up against. Now then for this race, we'll be following on board here with Nikita Mazepin, one of the favourite drivers. You can see the Russian stripe, the flags there on the car. So you've got Jack Aitken there with a good qualifying in the Campos start from 2nd. And Seti Camera in the dams as well, the highest placed dams there starting from P4, so all these drivers here all got a point to make now, point to prove as well, especially with the short season here, only 10 races. Now then coming to the 5 red lights for the start of the Formula 2 Championship. Lights out and away we go. It looks like a pretty even start from everyone. But Jack Hagan there, let's go good start from 2nd place. He actually has, De Vries has gone nowhere, that's boxing his teammate Mason behind, he had a good start, had nowhere to go with it. Now you've got Jack Aikens possibly now can take the lead out down into turn 1. He's already got ahead now. Now everyone else again getting literally now behind the Brit. Jack Aikens they moved over well to cover Sete Camera into turn 1. He's now going side by side now then with Nick de Vries. De Vries could go from 1st to 3rd now in space of the first sector of the lap. He's going to squeeze Sete Camera. He's going to go all the way around the outside line. This is going to be a brave move from the Brazilian. If he can hold it off now side by side still with Nick de Vries, and he's got the inside line though into turn 4. Don't want to keep it side by side though. He's just going to squeeze out the Dutchman. He no Keys is far down. Keys is still around the outside line. The racing line there for Nick de Vries. They're coming now then into a turn 5, and it's still actually Sete Camera that gets ahead. I know there's been a poor start there then for the Dutchman from 1st to 3rd, and now he's under heavy pressure already now then from his teammate Nikita Mazepin in what is his first half a lap driving these F2 cars. They've had testing in that already, so they'll be acquainted with the car, but the first time really can drive them with any proper meaningful running. Now then coming now is part of that where of course all these cars are all spec, so all the cars themselves are exactly the same. Look at that brilliant run there from Mason off the corner though. Changing de Vries looks really has been really flustered there by Aitken and Sete Camera making moves on him early on. There's some good straight speed there from Nick de Vries, so you're going to get a long way around the outside line, but you're going to get late on the brakes. But Mason there just has stood back in line. He's another header of Jordan King behind in the MP. Yeah, so some good straight speed there from de Vries. Of course, all the cars are equal. The only difference is going to be is how the cars are set up. So it looks like Mason may be running a little bit higher wing than what de Vries is, since he was able to pull away in the straight line. But that is going to give Mason a better traction out of the corner, so going to be the advantage in the slow stuff there for the Russian. Of course, he's still lead of 3 Russians because he's got Schwartzman and Markelov further down the order. And then round the final corner now is going to be Aitken. But a little bit of a snap oversteer though from Mason, just goes along the grass, but lucky to keep it out of the barriers, and that gives Jordan King there a free position, probably the easiest place he's ever made. Now you've got actually a fight for the lead now going on. You've got Aitken going defensive, but Sete Camera goes even more to the inside line. Aitken's going to squeeze in there as much as he can, but then he moves back over onto the racing line. They're still going to be side by side, still with the 2 of them. So no, it's Jack Aitken still with the racing line, but it's Sete Camera going to try and pull off the same move that he did on de Vries last lap. So he made the same move 2 times now in 2 laps. They're going to keep it side by side. Aitken in the squeeze, but then actually Sete Camera gives Aitken a bit of a squeeze there to the apex as well, getting very, very aggressive early on. Of course, we're so short of a season as well, with there only being 1 race, well, there's no sprint races, it's just a feature race here. Every position matters, and honestly, qualifying really is what matters in this championship as well, especially with all the cars being equal. And then that's brought de Vries though right back into play on the back then of the 2 cars in front. But here we've still got Mason there right up behind the back though of Jordan King, who makes his return to Formula 2 this year. Also we've got Ralph Boschung there in the Trident, and the Trident, they're not usually a team up here fighting, so having a try driving in 6th place, well that's good so far for Boschung. He had a pretty good qualifying as well, which you've seen from the graphic, which came up earlier on during the formation lap where everyone's starting. And then this is still automatic section, no DRS here, so we've still got Mason there right section here of Jordan King. He's not really gained too much on the Brit. And it's getting back in the station, moving all over the place and trying to get around the outside line. Going to go lay on the brakes, purple etc. as well. Just squeezing actually a bit of a lock up there from Jordan King, feeling the pressure here from the Russian on his debut in this championship. We'll squeeze around the outside line and just managed to hold it off, of course. Even though Jordan King does have Formula 2 experience, he's not driven these new generation of cars which came in for last year, I think, or was it the year before? I'm pretty sure it was last year these new gen of cars came in, so even though King has experience at this Formula, he hasn't got experience with this car, so it's pretty much still a level playing field, honestly, with the ones that are returning and the ones that are new as well. And around the final corner, Seti Camera puts a fast lap of 152.009, and we are, as Mason here, Mason was a second and a half off that lap, even though he goes over 3 seconds. They're showing how much time you do lose battling. I think honestly also showing how much good pace that Seti Camera in the lead of the race already has. So you see for a minute up, already pulling a bit of a gap there. On Aikens though, doing a bit of out there with Nick De Vries up in front as well. But now moving a bit further on, we've got De Vries has now cleared the campos there of Jack Aikens. That's an overtake that we've missed. But now then we've got Mason all over the back though of the orange car in front, now coming into the braking zone for the hardest corner on the track. He says still behind those, not quite close enough there to make the move. But if he gets past there, he'll be back to where he started and on the podium place on his debut in F2 and also at his home Grand Prix as well. So that'll be a pretty good result for Mason on debut as well. So with this lap only being, I think this race is about, what, 14 laps or so? Tyre wear is definitely not going to be an issue, so that's why everyone's starting on super soft tyres, because in the days of old you could do the alternate strategy, start on the hard tyres, go longer into the race, but given the short nature of these races, that's not really a viable option really. You just lose too much time at the start of the race and you've got to try and fight your way back through at the end. Now you've got Louis Delatraz here. He's been in F2 now for quite a while as well, in that number 1 car since they won the championship last year with Seti Camera and Lando Norris, before Norris moved on to a McLaren for this season in Formula 1. But now he's all over the back, he's going to go in the outside line of his fellow countrymen as well, of course, the 2 Swiss drivers here of Delatraz and Boschung. But Boschung are going to keep it back up the inside line, so good fighting here from the Trident driver. Of course, Trident never really feature too much to the front of the order, like I said a few laps ago. But still, you can put a much of a fight, and this could be the turning point for Trident possibly in their history, because I think Trident have never actually won a championship in F2, and I don't know about F3 either, or any other lower category, so they've been around for a while, but they've not had too much success. And moving on to lap 6, we've got a bit of a train now starting to feature here. Behind Mason, we've got Aitken, and we've got Jordan King, someone else also managed to get themselves onto the back of this queue as well, so it's probably Delatraz, quite honestly. Here's lap 6 of the race now, and actually now we're going to be coming out into the pit lane as well, so we've got Mason now coming in for his 1 and only stop then in this Grand Prix. Also look there, we've got Jordan King also in the MP car following him in as well. I think the MP car, the car design, is actually done by Sean Bull, and you know some of the designers that he can create on cars, but honestly the MP one is a bit bland honestly for stuff that you go, of course you have to make it so the sponsors and that happen with it, but it just slaps some orange onto a white car, so honestly I think there could have been a bit more thought into that design, but either way, it's been there. We've noticed the pit stops also a lot slower, because unlike F1, there's only 1 person per tyre, so about 7 seconds is a good pit stop time really in Formula 2, somewhere around there. Now then bringing down the tracks, he still kept it ahead though of Jordan King, and there's absolutely no one there on track, so everyone that's going to follow him behind has already come in, so it's a set of soft tyres now for all the ones that have pitted and all the ones that are coming in later on as well. And first of all, actually he's going straight on though, of course cold tyres also, there's no tyre warmer blankets in F2 either, so some tyres there are going to be stone cold, and once again Jack Aitken just sailed around the outside line, so once again he's had 2 very, very easy overtakes if I may spin, so still definitely showing his inexperience in these Formula 2 cars, these Dallara, I think it's still Dallara chassis, all of these cars. But now moving on to the end of that lap, we have the Nick De Vries coming. I don't know if he was actually the race leader, I don't know when or if Seti Camera pitted on the lap before, but either way we've got De Vries coming in now, and if he's not then he'll be in as well. And I'm not seeing him there in front, so I think Seti Camera must have pitted on the last lap, on the lap previous as well, unless he's staying out doing some kind of overcut strategy on the tyre, because like I said, tyre wear is not really a factor, so you should just blast out some laps at the end of your stint. And then coming now for a set of those soft tyres as well for De Vries. You can see there how much slower the pit stops are. Honestly, if you could do that in Formula 1, I think that would probably make it a bit more interesting as well. Because you can see everyone go for the record, so I think the record stops like 1.8 seconds, and that is chasing 4 wheels on the car in under 2 seconds. That is honestly stupidly fast as well. And here we have the 15 car, I think that's Jack Aitken, I'm not quite sure on the numbers yet, it's either that or Boccolacci, his teammate. either way though. I don't think it's been a good piss-off for Aiken. I saw one of the yellow Virtuosi cars in front of him. He's going out looking at a whole load of traffic there. And you've got the two Virtuosi going side by side up in front as well. And the blue one there with the blue decals. So Luca Giotto just squeezes out. He's a new rookie teammate, Guan Yu Zhou. Moved up from the European Formula 3 Championship from last year. And then we've got De Vries in front of them. So De Vries, he's still keeping his actually dead tries there, keep himself in front. But now then, on to lap 8 now, and Macepin's already once again back onto the back now then of Jordan King. So despite the few mistakes he's made, Macepin, he has some pretty good pace throughout this race so far. And we've got quite a bit of a gap there to Delatraz in P5 behind, and now we've got King going defensive into the final corner, but there's not really any way through here. Unless of course you go off the track and then just skate down the grass like Macepin did earlier on. Honestly, traditionally through here, there's not really any way you can make overtakes. But now then, you've got the DRS though on the back of the Brit now. Then to the DRS point now, and is this going to be an overtake? I mean, it should be now with the DRS and the opening and putting inside line. And keep side by side there with Jordan King. You know, there's so much speed going up to almost 200 mile an hour. And for these cars, I mean, I actually don't really know what size engine these cars have. They're all Mechachrome engines, so effectively they're all Renault engines in effect, really. And for once, these Renault engines actually work. They're going almost 200 mile an hour, which honestly isn't all too much slower than what the F1 cars can do. Only about 20 mile an hour or so. So despite the cars being a lot slower over a lap, in terms of outright straight line speed, they're not definitely no slouches or anything. And I'm moving this on, looking further down the order, we've got Nicholas Latifi, who's having a bit of a mare so far. I mean, he did pretty poor in qualifying, and now he's got Yuki Tsunoda, who moved up from F3 as well, in his debut with his championship as well. As you can now find, Deja has to go defensive there now, Latifi does, and he just managed to keep himself in front there of the Japanese driver, of course with the Honda and Red Bull backing as well. Of course, when Honda were in F1 before they became the Honda works team in the mid-2000s, there was always a lot of pressure they put on Jordan and that to have a Japanese driver in a Honda-powered car. That's why Jordan took on Takuma Sato for 2002 before he went to BAR for the 2004 season. So there's a bit of a queue though developing here though behind the car in front, which I think is one of the Tridents. I don't actually know if that's Bosch Young if he's dropped back a bit, or that could be his teammate Giuliano Alesi, who is also one of the drivers that's moved up to the championship now for this season. But Latifi though, he's definitely going to need to make some moves forward if he wants to get any points from this race. Now he's got the rest of the put inside then of the Trident coming down now into turn 1. He can keep it side by side still with a bit of luck up there though from the Canadian. Despite that luck up though, he keeps it through. Actually no, Lacey's going to come back though, and the Canadian. He's actually going to try and repass now. But you can make some moves. Leafs can try and make some moves now. But his teammate Sandy Cameron's done twice already. He squeezes the Trident there over to the apex. Now coming out into the corner. He's going to make it easy with Lacey there. Backs out of the corner. Realises there that the position was lost. And there's no real point in fighting there when you just lose a lot of time. Now on towards the end of lap 10. You've got the Macepin now kicking onto the back end of De Vries, as you can see from the top right. He's gone purple there through the first 2 sectors, so he could be on well to take the first lap. We're actually worth 2 points here, despite only being worth 1 point in Formula 1. Bit slow there at the final corner. We've got 51.4, so mega time there. So showing these tyres, even 5 laps in, these tyres just do not wear whatsoever. With the DRS there wide open, easy close enough to make a move on Nick De Vries, coming down now into the first braking zone, but the second corner getting close on the braking again, very close on the braking, a bit of contact there almost. A bit of a lock from there, so there from Nick De Vries, so De Vries really is feeling the pressure now from his younger teammate. And coming through the long sweeping corner was a little bit wide, so despite these cars having so much less aero, the dirty air is still in effect. I mean, no matter what, unless you've got no front wings, if you don't see anything running all over the road, so it's looking all over the road. I mean, if you can get away with it, if the shoes are fine with it, then fair play. Honestly, go all over the road, find whatever place you can to try and make time. Although you are 6/10 down though from his best lap, so De Vries, it definitely looks like is holding up his teammate. Although, despite they are teammates, yeah. But in Formula 2, it's every man for himself, honestly, because let's say Macepin and De Vries are in the championship fight at the final race. Say those two going for it. That would mean that ART win the team's championship. Once you move up into Formula 1, nobody cares about if you got help the team get the constructors and that. It's about what you did individually, and now we've got Mason getting the inside line of Nick De Vries. He's going to blast past his teammates, so some great battles again, and also a purple second sector, so this car is working so well then for Macepin now. On these harder tyres, he definitely feels a lot more comfortable, it seems, than what he was doing on the Super Softs earlier on, because Super Softs aren't something that we're using Formula 1 anymore. It's the soft, medium and hard name tyre, although there's a different range, there's 5 different tyres, so the actual compounds themselves could differ from each race. In Formula 2, we think Honestly, just to put it through, these are like the 2016 tyres, still, the ones that wear out after about 5 miles, or a lap and a half, to put it into a lap perspective. But yeah, these are the normal horrific tyres that Formula 1 used to use, which just lasted literally no time at all. Now into second place though for Mazepin, and we've still got De Vries on the DRS down the straight, but De Vries is nowhere near. And then is he close enough to actually do anything to catch up to Sete Camera? I mean, unless he somehow gains about, what, 3 seconds a lap, I don't think Mazepin is going to get anywhere close to challenging the Brazilian up in front. But still though, we've got De Vries though, gaining down as the little proximity area there. He's still coming back to play, so De Vries, he's not giving this one up easily, and once again, Mazepin using all of the track and then some, so apparently you don't gain an advantage for being out there, because if there was an advantage to be gained, everyone out there would be doing it. Sete Camera's got a 7.3 second lead. Imagine he's also been told on the radio that the two ARTs are going at it hammer and tongue for second place, and he's probably not going to be going for that second to try and get that fastest lap back, because at this point, especially the first race of the season is such a short season. What's more important, the 20 points right now, or possibly losing 20 points to try and gain an extra 2 back, when as it stands you're still going to be ahead of the driver who has the fastest lap in the championship, and you're going to be ahead maybe even if De Vries will get 20 points for a win, then 15, then 12. Yeah, as it stands, Sete Camera is still going to be leading the championship if things stay like this and into the corner. And although De Vries is still there, he's still not really close enough to try and do anything to Mazepin. And then moving on to the final lap now then of the Grand Prix, and unsurprisingly it's still Sergio Sete Camera that leads the way. I mean, he had an okay season in F2 last year when he was teammates to Lando Norris, the guy who came ultimately runner-up in the championship. I mean, I think he had some kind of injury as well last season as well, so he missed, I think it was 2 or 3 races. And when he came back, he had some good pace, but didn't have the consistency to go with it, so I think this might be Sergio's last chance in Formula 2, so also, if whoever ends up being champion may end up bagging a Formula 1 drive as well, so it's all or nothing here for everyone on the grid. Especially for the ones that have been here for a while anyway, like Sergio Sete Camera, Latifi, De Vries and that, who really is make or break for them. Coming through the middle sector, you can just, honestly, you can just kind of like feel that the intensity that Sergio was showing earlier on just isn't there anymore. It's just going to coast it around there on this final lap, because like I said before, there's no point trying to get back the fastest lap when you're going to be leading the standings come the end of this race once you cross the finish line, because it's all over. I mean, many times before we've seen manic things happen on the final lap of this track, last lap passes, back in the early 2000s as well, like Mika Hakkinen blowing up on the final lap in the McLaren from the lead, so until you cross the line it's never over, but it looks pretty dead set still for Sergio Sete Camera. We're coming out into the third sector of the lap now for the final time. You can just get through there okay. No dramas there out of the corner. Just keep it well within the bounds of the track as well. Just make sure you don't get a corner cutting penalty or anything on the final lap as well. Now into the second last corner. No dramas through there either. Now you're going to take it nice and easy here now into the final corner. Now they're coming out now to the line, and Sergio Sete Camera wins the third Formula 2 round of this 2019 season. Gets championship right on track immediately. And it's going to be second place on debut for Nikita Mazepin in front of the home crowd. You can see there, as they're celebrating how much this second place means there to the Russian, especially beating his more experienced and more big name teammate Nick De Vries as well. But it's Dams who takes victory for the first race now of the 2019 F2 season. And there you can see the team there look pretty satisfied with that as well. Because Dams usually end up, or one of the teams along with ART, they're usually one of the teams that end up being up here at the front quite regularly. And they're definitely going to be showing it's probably going to be ART and Dams going for it again in this season as well. And then we have Ralph Boschung finishing P10, so he dropped down a little bit from where he started, but still P10 in the Trident, that's still a good effort there from the Swiss driver. Definitely take some points at least from this race. So you can see the crowd there celebrating still, so they're pretty happy with the result for this race as well. And onto the podium, and the Brazilian there, Sete Camera on the top step with the number 5 there, Dams car. And there hasn't been a Brazilian in Formula 1 since the end of the 2050 season in Felipe Massa's final race, and if Sergio Sete Camera can keep this kind of form going, then you never know, he may be on the grid in Formula 1 next season. He sprays the champagne there on the Nikita Mazepin, and just sprays the crowd then as well. We've got De Vries there on the right, the two ARTs, which should be leading the constructors as things stand after round 1. Taking a look then at the end results, and it's Sergio Sete Camera who wins the first race of the season. Nearly 7 seconds clear of Nikita Mazepin, who takes the fastest lap and the 2 points to go with it, with teammate Nick De Vries in third. Jordan King on return had a good race, finished in 4th, ahead then of Luca Giotto in 5th, with Delatraz in P6 in the Carlin. And then we've got Guan Yu Zhu finishing where he started in 7th place in the other Uni Virtuosi, with Robert Schwartzman also finishing where he started in P8 in the Prema. Jack Aitken was leading the race at one point but slipped down to 9th, so some pretty poor pace there from Aitken to also finish 17.5 seconds off a place that he was in at one point. But ahead then of Ralph Boschung, with Artem Markelov getting points 11, so all 3 of the Russians score in this race. And Yuki Tsunoda also on debut takes the final point for Carlin in P12. Latifi with an absolute mare would finish down in P13, just outside the points places, even though his teammate won the race in his equal cars. And you have Tatiana Cardron in 14th place, with Giuliano Alesi in 15th ahead then of Callum Isler, with Mahavir Ranganathan in 17th place in the other MP. Ahead then of Dorian Boccolacci and Sean Glales last of the finishers, with Marino Sato in the Sauber junior team the only retirement from this race. And since the drivers will be the same since only round 1, I'm going to go straight onto the constructor standings, and with no surprise it's ART that lead the way on 33 points, 13 points clear then of Dams, with Uni Virtuosi that was the Russian time team from last year in P3. We have the MP Motorsport team in 4th, 2 points clear then of Carlin. Then we have in 6th place Prema on 5, 1 point ahead then of Campos with Jack Aitken's points. Trident in 8th on 3, with Ard in 9th there on 2 points. And after one race, only the Sauber Junior team yet to score. If you enjoyed the first round of this F2 season, there's going to be a load more actions to come as well, then leave a like on this video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Remember to give me a follow on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, they will all be linked in the description down below. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.